These 18-year-olds are really built different. Carlos Alcaraz and Leylah Annie Fernandez put off incredible comeback wins back-to-back over third seeds Stefano Tsitsipas and Naomi Osaka respectively. I'm gonna make this a two-part video, with this one focusing on Leylah Annie Fernandez's big triumph and the WTA results. First, looking at that match with Osaka, she continued her solid serving early on, but she struggled to make a dent in the Fernandez serve. Eventually, Naomi broke through a 5-all and grabbed the opener 7-5. The second set appeared to be a carbon copy of the first, as after solid holds from both through the first 10 games, Osaka broke through to serve for the match at 6-5. However, we were in for a major twist as Naomi played a pretty sloppy game to get broken. Now in the tiebreaker, things went from worse to worser as the Japanese woman literally began unraveling, missing routine neutral shots while struggling to maintain her composure. After screaming, she threw her racket and the crowd let her have it. The very next point, she threw her racket harder, but still didn't get a code violation warning. Fernandez remained steady and ultimately claimed the second set 7-2 in the tiebreak. Naomi went off the court to compose herself, and I thought that she'd be able to turn it around like she did during the 2019 Australian Open final. She returned to the court and looked calmer, even apologizing to chair umpire Alison Hughes for her behavior. However, she still wasn't able to fully shake off that second set and got broken right off the bat by Fernandez. The third seed still had more frustration to unleash as she smashed the ball into the upper part of the stadium the next game. That time she did receive a code violation warning. That release of anger actually helped Naomi a bit as she started to play much better. She managed to dig herself out of a hole that 2 love game, saving break points, and there I thought things would shift in her favor. However, Leylah stepped it up and continued to apply the pressure, dominating on serve for the entire set. There would be no more breaks to serve for either woman, and when she had the chance to serve it out, Leylah passed with flying colors, holding at love. I want to first discuss the woman of this match, Leylah. I have to give it up to you, sister. You played an amazing match. I knew Leylah had big game, and I talked about her a lot last year and included her in many of my tournament previews as a dark horse. But she kind of did fizzle out a bit in terms of results, and I didn't even regard her that much in my tournament preview for this major. However, when she was officially set to face Naomi, I knew it could be tough for the third seed. As first, Fernandez is a lefty. For some reason, Osaka struggles more with lefty players, as now her 3 latest losses have come to one, Vondrousova, Teichmann, and now Fernandez. However, I still believe it would be a competitive straight set match, like how it was going up until 7-5, 6-5. Both women played well at this point, but Naomi was the better player for the majority of the first half. However, she started to implode mentally after failing to serve it out, and in that tiebreaker, all Leylah had to do was put the ball back in the court. Now in the third set, Leylah played her hips off. This is by far her best set of tennis thus far, and the emotional maturity to not let up towards the finish line was awe-inspiring. You can tell she believed that she could win this match, and in an interview later on, post-match, she said that she believed she could pull off the upset before even stepping out on ash. Elaborating on that self-belief, the young Canadian said, "From a very young age, I knew I was able to beat anyone who was in front of me. I was always that competitive, saying I'm going to win against my dad in soccer, even though that's impossible. I guess today that belief came true." Once again, full credit and congratulations to Leylah. We were waiting for this big breakthrough, but the way it happened is unbelievable. Now looking at Miss Osaka, she didn't play that bad of a match at all. Up until when she served forward, she looked solid and seemed to be playing herself into form. However, the lack of match play showed up when she panicked after failing to serve it out. She was actually supposed to play another lefty, Olga Danilovic, in the second round, but the Serbian withdrew, and that apparently hurt Naomi here. I guarantee you, had she played and beaten Olga, things would be different. Now, I know a lot of people were talking about a coaching change, but she and Wimprezet are fine. The issue is about Naomi's mindset, which I'll talk a bit more about later. Naomi also had the weight of being the defending US Open champion, and honestly, she never does well in her title defenses. She hadn't made it past the 4th round in her previous 3 defense attempts. With failed title defenses, of course comes dropped points. Naomi drops 1 spot to number 4 in the live rankings, but at least 4 other players can move ahead of her once the tournament's finished. Now talking about the mini meltdown, I didn't think too much about it because it should be natural for tennis players to express their emotions, especially in these intense moments. If you disagree, it's highly likely that you haven't been in these stressful on-court situations. There was a lot of discussion about the 2018 US Open where Serena lost her cool a bit during the final with Naomi. Chris Everett, among others, felt that Naomi should have gotten a court violation earlier on like Serena did, but that was a different circumstance with a more understanding and patient umpire in Allison Hughes. By the way, Pam Shriver, stop mentioning that 2018 final and saying it's the reason why Naomi has anxiety. It's a straight up lie and it's disrespectful to both Serena and Naomi. Serena's just sitting at home recovering, trying to promote S by Serena, and she has to deal with all this mess. Anyways, in her post-match press conference, Naomi broke down towards the conclusion and said that she probably would be taking a break from tennis.
I feel like for me, recently, like when I win, I don't feel happy. I feel more like a relief. And then when I lose, I feel very sad. And I don't think that's normal. And I didn't really want to cry, but basically I feel like
Gentlemen, I'm done. Okay? Thank you.
No, I kind of want to finish this though. I'm sorry.
It's up to you.
Yeah. So basically I feel like okay. So this is very hard to articulate. Well, basically, I feel like I'm kind of at this point where I'm trying to figure out what I want to do. And I honestly don't know when I'm going to play my next tennis match. Sorry. But
thank you, everyone.
Okay, yeah. But I think I'm going to take a break from playing for a while.
It's really heartbreaking to see Naomi like this, and she's saying that she doesn't really love or like playing tennis. Although that's not surprising. It feels like since she's won the Australian Open, something's been really off with her, and she just seems to hold a lot of tension. That's why I don't even think that the press boycott was about the press itself. I believe it stems from the issues she had within herself. Naomi often says that she ties her self-worth to winning, and with the increased attention and sponsorship she receives, I'm sure that she puts additional pressure on herself to perform well. I feel like it's taking the fun out of the game for her, which is really unfortunate. I think Naomi is doing right to step away from tennis, especially if she's not there 100%. But I also think that she needs to cool it with the off-court endorsements because it's clearly too much for her to handle. I think her team and greedy agent Stewart are to blame, but I'm not going to talk too much about that right now. I was going to make a video about this very topic more extensively, so let me know in the comments if that's something you'd like to see. Currently though, my heart goes out to Naomi, and I hope that she takes all the time she needs and recovers before we see her again, which will likely be in 2022. Up next for Leylah, by the way, is Angelique Kerber, who defeated Sloane Stephens 5-7, 6-2, 6-3. This was a really good match, and Sloane did have a chance to take it home in the third, holding 2 break points while up 3-2. However, when she wasn't able to convert, the tide turned, as Angelique raised her level even more to take the last 4 games of the match. I'm of course sad for Sloane, and she's had a much better season this season, but still she hasn't had that breakthrough result. I'm sure something big will come in 2022 if she keeps up her progress. I've also been impressed with how Kerber's played all summer, and I knew that after she escaped that Ustremska match, she'd make a strong run here. Another match between Slam champs was Gorbina Muguruza and Victoria Azarenka. Muguruza got past the 3-time finalist with a score of 6-4, 3-6, 6-2. This was a great match, and I ultimately believe the serve made the difference here, as the Spaniard was much more solid in that department. Gorbina will look to reach her first quarterfinal in New York, as she now faces 9th seed Barbora Krejcikova, who advanced past Rakimova 4-2. Fellow Roland Garros champ Simona Halep continues her impressive run of Flushing, defeating talented Kazakhstani Elena Rybakina 7-6, 4-6, 6-3. Once again, Rybakina was the better woman in this match, but Simo was too solid in the important moments. Halep now gets Elita Svitolina, who looked impressive herself during her 4-2 rout over Kasatkina. Now on paper, Aryna Sabalenka had a really difficult third rounder against the informed Danielle Collins. However, Aryna dispatched her pretty easily 3-3, and like in their previous match in Wuhan where Aryna only dropped one game, her power was too much for the American to handle. Up next for Sabalenka is doubles partner Elise Mertens, who defeated Tunisian Onstra Burr 6-3, 7-5. That's it for the first part of this video, and let me know what you think about the results and Naomi's statement in the press and the comments below. Also, make sure you subscribe and click the notification bell so you're notified whenever part 2 is up. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon here on Grand Slam Tennis News Today.